Let's get a message. If we may. What's the message? What's the message from my faves? Just trying to get a message. Payday. Oh my gosh. I feel like there's very unpredictable energy inside me. Well, there always is unpredictable energy inside me, but like right now, I'm having a hard time maintaining my self. So, somebody got an opportunity that paid them, or is payday. Is I just got halfway through a reading and then I had to end it because I got a phone call. But the last reading that will never be uploaded was about feeling like we should be paid, kind of. But it was like I was actually crying just 30 minutes ago, because and I'm still it's like, oh, the words. Woo! God. It feels like, oh my gosh. God gets to be silent and hidden. And so he never has to. Listen. God? I'm sorry. With my best assessment, just short of knowing, is that it feels like God is trying to figure out how to compensate for a whoop-dee. But it's like, it still hasn't, it's like, I haven't forgot about that, God, but this is cool. I'll be, thank you. But hey, we're going to come back to that little thing, okay? And it's like, what happened was, you were there too. And, before the thoughts can complete into an action, is like, are they gonna do it, or this or that? And then like finally it's like the hair line between what you ultimately choose and then doing it to make it official. It's like, in that split moment, the smallest measure of time, the space between the decision and the action from it, where there is no time, it's like in that area, still trying to organize. It's like trying to label or describe. Okay, it's so. I know this is different. Just like there was a time where God and you, or God and I, didn't know what each other. God didn't know what you were gonna do, and so um, because you didn't know what you were gonna do, it's like the moment it was kind of like a whoop-dee, like it was a little bit of a, was it a fuck up where you it's like there was no plan for you, the decision and the action that you made, and it's like God was supposed to be there, like you got stuck or so. I know God is, it's not possible for God to get stuck or not. No, I get it, but like, what? He can only get as much as you get yourself, so to speak, since we have free will. He's like, in the moment of will she or won't she? In like that moment, because is this making any sense? Ultimately, there's no mistakes made because we can like go back and sift through, and not go back, but like the moment isn't over. It's still working itself out. So for now, since we're in the 3D and gotta pay the bills, like it's like, okay, God, this is a good start. But like, you have to be part of that too. I didn't just get paid because, whoa, there's a check in the mail. No, I had to go after another job. And I still haven't finalized it. Oh my gosh, but it's gonna be potentially it's gonna be, it's, I didn't even tell you guys about the chef position. Maybe like a little bit, but like the things I've been going through are so inspiring. Otherwise, I wouldn't just be like, listen to me, this is for you. And I've been neglecting to share such inspiration. I'm still too nervous to say it, but I'm sorry, I'm so grateful for so little. Oh my gosh. What I meant was, I don't have to have anything, barely. And I'm just in awe of everything. It's all a matter of perspective because it feels like, whether it's on a piece of paper under my name, it feels like everything I see, it might as well be mine. It's like, here we are. Does that make sense? It's like, I'm glad other people are busy maintaining and building and having. It's enough just to observe all of God's creation. But the laborer deserves their wage. And you do way more than sit back and observe. So, what I was trying to say is being so grateful for, I don't have more than a car full of possessions, but I know there's so much in store for me. I think I'm about to have horses in my life. Have you guys ever seen the documentary Buck? It's a true story. This man is like a horse whisperer. You should check it out. My point is, when I get a decent car, I mean, my car is decent, but it's like 22 years old, at least. I feel like my outside world. Okay, let me just. When we work for everything we have from the ground up, is something you can't take from. I mean, things can be taken, but when you have started at the bottom, you know how to do it again. And when you've been feeling like you've just been starting over and over and over and over, and you're just like, eventually you're gonna have some sort of like breakthrough, and the foundation is solid there, and then you build the next layer all over. It's like never ending building and destroying, like when you're 2 years old and like you just want to break it all, and then you put it back together, and it's like it feels so good. It's like, next. It's odd feeling when most people want to protect everything they have to the death of it. Like, it's an actual muscle that gets exercised to let go and then build and then let go and then build. And then it's strong and it matures. You mature. Payday. So, I still haven't got to my point, which is when I just get like a little, like a newer car, or the ability to pay my own bills, or I pay my like my point is just to have like a little bit and be so grateful for the, I can't get the words out. I feel like God didn't want to miss a beat when it comes to it's like God was like, no, you didn't. It's like he was like, you miss something. Like, we gotta go be grateful for this new species of flower that like it's like we'll get to the future later. There's so much to heal. Healing while being grateful for something you missed. That's healing. It's not let's go heal. It's let's go be grateful for something I was supposed to see. God is protected in my heart. Where he is allowed to be silent. And in secret. I'm sorry. The silence is where he becomes everything. And nothing all at once. I had a dream last night where a bird landed in my hand, or like it was right there, like in my space, and I just thought I'd share that with you. I've never had an experience like that with a bird. And then just earlier, there was a bird that was really close on the porch, and I don't know why I just had to share that. So I think the message is, it feels like a compensation, but what needs to be mended is still to be mended. This isn't. That's not it. Excuse me. 1 second. If I could get the words out, wouldn't that be wonderful? The words of, hi Papa, if you're here, my dad watches sometimes. And I fear that my dad and God might do something. Well, my dad, okay. What happened was, I needed to get my car out of towing. And this sounds silly, saying it out loud, without explaining how it goes deeper. I assume you can assume it does. So I knew my dad would help me with this bill if I asked him, for sure. I knew he would probably help me with this bill without even asking him. But what happened was, I paid the bill and then he reimbursed me. It's like I had to suffer not the bill, but not having help, when I felt like I should have been so easily helped, which I was, because he did have money sitting there. But my point is, he could have prevented me from feeling like he let me go through doing it all on my own, which was probably a lesson in that, from father to daughter. And I say this because I fear God does the same thing. But it's like, by the time you get compensated, you've already been through what seems like it could have been prevented so easily. So we find our own strength while suffering. The loneliness of it. I'm not sure if I wish he had offered to help before I felt like I had none. I'm not sure because it does make you independent to the very foundation of yourself. I'm not sure because I feel like at the very foundation, I don't want it to be just me and God in His silence, where it might as well just be me. And I'm speaking from an unmended heart. So once it's mended, I look back and be not ashamed and not guilty, but I'll look back and be like, yeah, I said that about God and this and that, and then He proved me. It's like I already expect to be proven wrong and be put in my place. I just wish, like, anyways, this conversation helps mend it for God and I. Not fully. There are things left to be mended. But my point is, I feel like there could be mending done before it's like you have to go all the way alone. And then He's like, I don't know. And that God's like, why are you comparing me to your dad? But He knows why. But I also know how to mend this. It's a matter of doing I got nothing. Everything's meant to be. Life is not linear. Our mistakes and successes and our mending or lack thereof, it's like it's not linear. It's like all those things I just mentioned. The process of breaking and the process of mending are not linear. We can't do everything at once. Anyways, 30 minutes. Anybody that cares, I was in the shower and I scratched myself with my thumb when I was doing my hair. Anyways, I might have a new job working with horses, and maybe you guys have a breakthrough somehow within your payday scenario. Let's get one more. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Vanishing Mirror, Ego Sublimation. I was going to say this, but I didn't. But, you know, God had to break my ego down to the last fracture. Still is breaking it down, maybe. Sublimation. That's the material between when a material goes from solid to gas. At least I think that's what I remember reading. Let's get one more. Netcaster. Preparations come to fruition. Number 42. That's my age. Number 58. If I didn't mention that. Preparations come to fruition. Netcaster. Well, yeah, I put out I replied to a position. Somebody threw out a net, and I got caught. No, or the other way around. I don't know. Of course, I'm gonna be optimistic. Actually, I act like I already have the position. Now I'm gonna be all worried. Nope, I got it. I got it. Yep, I got this. I got goosebumps everywhere. I suppose I could come back with bad news, but like, I feel like reading more. If you're still here, I love you so much. Welcome to my inner world, where God and I are just trying to figure out what each other want. Little fools, just jump. I want you to jump. I think God wants to soothe every fear and eliminate every doubt. And I feel like I've done the bravest thing you could do and eliminated the last seed of doubt possible. That was a couple years ago. And like, with all the world's projections and darkness and toxicity, it still affects me. Duh. And it's like, I forget sometimes how strong I am and that I have no doubt in us. But like, there's so much. Oh my gosh. God. This is actually the animal card I was just thinking of. I look over. The dragon's eye. Okay. I feel like reading it. Yep, we're gonna read it. Okay. Seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside ourselves. When we look into the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride. And as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their agni is dim. Agni? Described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir embers of intelligence within you. The dragon and the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center. In the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems, and behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both the inner and outer dimensions. The solar plexus is my compass. Compass? Where the will comes from, the fire. It's hard to describe all the energies I was just feeling. Okay. So I think that's what I have for us. Preparations come to fruition. You've been preparing your soul. I can't get the words. It's like you've been cleansing the path for your soul, like cleansing the ego so that I can't, it's too much. There's no words. I feel like just one more. And then that'll be enough. Lion, ask for what you want. Uh-huh. We want there to be no question with the it's like we just want to be done being tested and sit with God together doing things, not just testing us. Like, can we go do something? like, like, what do you want? I want to work together doing something. like, with horses, perhaps. Let's go work with some horses. No, what I want is to bring justice to the bad people. And I feel like God is like, yeah, but I'm using them for this and this, and we gotta wait. Just like, or something. Otherwise, why are they still doing the things that they do? If God didn't have a purpose. Like the silent thing. Like, what are we doing here? So much justice is being served behind the scenes right now. I can feel it. And we can see some of it, if it's true. But just want to be part of the Justice Squad. Kind of like, I guess, by making these videos, it's like in the front seat, like, here we are. you know? Which is a pretty big, here we are, 12:12 on my clock as I said that. 33. Anyways, here we are. Just by our energy, just by existing, by have not taken your own life, by not X, Y, and Z, just by being here with the cleansed energy is doing so much. So but we want to do more. And so there's so many hearts to touch and inspire and shift vibration to the next level. Lots of horses to meet as well. Let's just relax and not worry about the future when the present has so much to show us. Something about payday, things coming into fruition, casting the net, and the ego is checked. And God is like, so we're good? Like, okay, we're all right. So that's what I have for you guys. I love you so much. Until next time.